Shemu'el 1, 1 Samuel chapter 23. And they informed Dawid, saying, See, the Palestites are fighting against Keilah, and they are plundering the threshing floors. So Dawid inquired of Yahuah, saying, Shall I go and smite these Palestites? And Yahuah said to Dawid, Go and smite the Palestites and save Keilah. And David's men said to him, See, we here in Yehudah are afraid. How much more then if we go to Keilah against the enemies of the Palestites? And Dawid inquired of Yahuah once again, and Yahuah answered him and said, Arise, go down to Keilah, for I am giving the Palestites into your hand. So Dawid and his men went to Keilah and fought with the Palestites, and he led away their livestock and smote them a great smiting. Thus Dawid saved the inhabitants of Keilah. And it came to be when Abiathar, son of Ahimelech, fled to Dawid at Keilah, that he went down with a shoulder garment in his hand. And Shaul was informed that Dawid had gone to Keilah. Then Shaul said, Elohim has estranged him into my hand, for he has shut himself in by entering a town that has gates and bars. And Shaul summoned all the people to battle to go down to Keilah to besiege Dawid and his men. And Dawid knew that Shaul was plotting evil against him, and said to Abiathar the Kohen, Bring the shoulder garment here. And Dawid said, O Yahuah, Elohim of Yisrael, your servant has heard for certain that Shaul seeks to come to Keilah to destroy the city for my sake. Are the landowners of Keilah going to surrender me into his hand? Is Shaul coming down as your servant has heard? O Yahuah, Elohim of Yisrael, I pray, let your servant know. And Yahuah said, He is coming down. And Dawid said, Are the landowners of Keilah going to surrender me and my men into the hand of Shaul? And Yahuah said, They are going to surrender you. Then Dawid and his men, about 600, arose and left Keilah and went wherever they could go. And Shaul was informed that Dawid had escaped from Keilah, and he ceased to go out. And Dawid remained in the wilderness in strongholds, and remained in the hill country in the wilderness of Ziph. And Shaul sought him every day, but Elohim did not give him into his hand. And Dawid saw that Shaul had come out to seek his life, while Dawid was in the wilderness of Ziph at Horesh. And Jonathan, Shaul's son, arose and went to Dawid at Horesh, and strengthened his hand in Elohim, and said to him, Do not fear, for the hand of Shaul my father is not going to find you, and you are to reign over Yisrael, and I am to be next to you. Even my father Shaul knows that. And they made a covenant before Yahuah, and Dawid remained at Horesh, while Jonathan went to his own house. And the Ziphites came up to Shaul at Givah, saying, Is Dawid not hiding with us in the strongholds of Horesh in the hill of Hekelah, which is on the south of the wasteland? And now, O sovereign, by all the desire of your being, come down, and our part is to surrender him into the sovereign's hand. And Shaul said, Baruch are you of Yahuah, for you have sympathy with me. Please go prepare yet further and find out and see the place where his hideout is, who has seen him there, for I am told that he is very cunning. So look and learn all about the hiding places where he hides, and you shall come back to me with certainty. Then I shall go with you, and it shall be, if he is in the land, that I search for him throughout all the clans of Yehudah. And they rose up and went to Ziph before Shaul, while Dawid and his men were in the wilderness of Maon, in the desert plain on the south of the wasteland. And Shaul and his men went to seek him, and they informed Dawid, so he went down to the rock, and remained in the wilderness of Maon. And when Shaul heard this, he pursued Dawid in the wilderness of Maon. And Shaul went on one side of the mountain, and Dawid and his men on the other side of the mountain. And Dawid was hurrying to get away from Shaul, for Shaul and his men were surrounding Dawid and his men to take them. Then a messenger came to Shaul, saying, Hurry and come, for the Palestites have invaded the land. So Shaul turned back from pursuing Dawid and went against the Palestites. Therefore they called that place Selah ha-Mechlekoth. And Dawid went up from there and remained in strongholds at Ein Gedi. Shemu'el 1, 1 Samuel chapter 24. And it came to be when Shaul had returned from pursuing the Palestites that it was reported to him, saying, See, Dawid is in the wilderness of Ein Gedi. So Shaul took 3,000 chosen men from all Israel and went to seek Dawid and his men on the face of Zerah-Ye'elim. And he came to the sheepfolds on the way, and there was a cave, and Shaul went in to relieve himself. Now Dawid and his men were sitting in the sides of the cave, and the men of Dawid said to him, See, the day of which Yahuah said to you, See, I am giving your enemy into your hand, and you shall do to him as it seems good to you. And Dawid arose and gently cut off a corner of Shaul's robe. And it came to be afterward that the heart of Dawid smote him because he had cut the robe of Shaul. So he said to his men, Far be it from me, by Yahuah, that I should do this matter to my master, anointed of Yahuah, to stretch out my hand against him, for he is the anointed of Yahuah. And Dawid dispersed his servants with words, and did not allow them to rise against Shaul. And Shaul rose up from the cave and went on his way. And afterward Dawid arose and went out of the cave and called out to Shaul, saying, My master, the sovereign. And when Shaul looked behind him, Dawid bowed with his face to the earth and did obeisance. And Dawid said to Shaul, Why do you listen to the words of men who say, See, Dawid seeks to do you evil? See, this day your eyes have seen that Yahuah gave you today into my hand in the cave, and one said to slay you, but my eye pardoned you, and I said, I do not stretch out my hand against my master, for he is the anointed of Yahuah. And my father, see, even see the corner of your robe in my hand, for in that I cut off the corner of your robe and did not slay you. Know and see that there is neither evil nor rebellion in my hand, and I have not sinned against you while you are hunting my life to take it. Let Yahuah judge between you and me, and let Yahuah revenge me on you, but my hand is not against you. As the proverb of the ancients says, Wickedness comes from the wicked, but my hand is not against you. After whom has the sovereign of Israel come out? Whom do you pursue? A dead dog? A flea? And Yahuah shall be judge and rightly rule between you and me, and see and plead my case and rightly rule me out of your hand. And it came to be when Dawid had ended speaking these words to Shaul that Shaul said, Is this your voice, my son Dawid? So Shaul lifted up his voice and wept. And he said to Dawid, You are more righteous than I, for you have rewarded me with good, whereas I have rewarded you with evil. And you have sworn today how you have done good to me, for when Yahuah surrendered me into your hand, you did not slay me. For if a man finds his enemy, shall he let him get away safely? And let Yahuah reward you with good for what you have done to me today. And now look, I know that you shall certainly reign, and that the reign of Israel shall be established in your hand. And now swear to me by Yahuah that you do not cut off my seed after me, nor destroy my name from my father's house. And Dawid swore to Shaul. Then Shaul went home, and Dawid and his men went up to the stronghold.